Good to get that out.
That's what we're coming with today. Some anger and
Angry
rage.
yelling.
Yes. Angry yelling.
With fury.
Welcome to the podcast.
What's the show with furious anger or with furious?
So sorry, Christian.
I have no idea.
I don't know. There's something.
Oh,
like,
did we peak the
and
levels
with
there?
furious anger.
Just barely.
Christian, I'm sorry. Did we peak the levels there?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Well,
Just a tad.
let's go back to our inside voices.
Oh, that's so funny.
We haven't done the NPR podcast
Yeah.
in a while, have we? Like
Can you angry whisper? Can you angry
I
whisper?
think you can. Don't
Oh,
you?
yes,
That's
as
what
a
you do to your
parent,
kids in church
yes.
and like anywhere public. You're like,
yeah.
sit down,
As soon
be
as,
quiet
that's
right
true.
now.
As soon as you
Yes.
said as a parent, I was like, oh,
Yes. That's where he.
Most of my whispering is angry whispering.
You don't angry whisper to like other adults. That would be incredible, though. That would be good.
Let's do that.
You are too loud on this podcast. My levels are ruined. I set these levels before we started, and now they're all ruined.
Oh, it's great.
Get it together.
Oh, this is good stuff,
Christian,
guys. This is a good start.
I'm happy that we've started this way, kind of talking with you about blowing out the levels, because you have a camera on you for the first
I do.
time in podcast
Yes,
history.
let's do
Everybody's
that.
so excited
Yes.
about
Wait,
it.
wait.
Let's take the Christian shot. Let's
Yep.
see it.
Let's see.
He has to do some extra
here.
work to
Gotta
get
do some
to it.
extra
Yeah.
work.
Yep.
It's
and
buried in
there it is.
That's producer Christian, and that's what it looks like on the other
That's
side
right.
of the studio.
Back there.
Oh,
Another
yeah.
studio, actually, is what it is.
I was just thinking this was the first time we've revealed Christian's face, but this isn't like
No.
like tool time or Wilson.
Right,
or like,
right.
He's been in photos with us.
He's been in photos. He's been in the video
Videos.
podcast. Yeah,
All
there's
the
quite a
speaking
bit.
of it.
This camera right here has always been there. Yeah, we've seen him for a long time.
First time everybody's seen it.
Okay, so that's what he looks like. You've now learned is producer Christian in the house. So that's a good time.
Exciting.
Now back to the four shot.
Back to the four shot. That's
So
good.
much fun, all these toys.
Oh, mercy sakes. Well, okay, so this is fun. Welcome to the podcast, everybody. We are excited to be with you. I'm Terry. Across the table from me is producer Christian. What's up, buddy?
Hello, everybody.
To my right, Megan. How are you?
Hello.
Megan already is trained once today, and now she's coming
Yes.
to do some podcast
I'm
training.
on a mission.
Boy, people are just sitting at your feet and basking
Ooh.
in your
bad idea.
effervescent light.
It's
if I
a
may.
bad idea. LED.
And then to my left, Todd. Hey, how's it going?
I am currently kneading my peanut butter.
Oh.
You need peanut butter. Get it?
Absolutely.
Okay. So Todd has a packet of peanut butter from a local coffee establishment.
I don't know about you guys, but I like all my peanut butter unkneaded, and then I
Oh.
knead.
Oh,
Really?
you knead it
Yes.
yourself.
Yeah.
Self-kneading peanut
I like,
butter.
you just, there's nothing better
You want my hot tip?
than to start your day with just.
You put it under your leg.
Oh, that's...
While you're eating the rest of it, it warms up. Then you can.
Oh.
But yet you feel a little gross, don't you?
Yeah, it's warmed by your body heat. That's a little gross.
It's
It's
like
your
little
own
trailer.
leg.
No, it's your body
leg.
heat.
Yeah.
It's
If
your
you
own
were like,
filth
if
that
you were
warmed
like,
it.
hey Terry, can you heat this up for me? That might be weird, but my own leg or hands, I'm
It's
fine
like in
with
Ferris
that,
Bueller when he goes.
right?
She goes, "Do you want a gummy bear?" I kept it in my pocket, so it's nice and warm.
Gross,
Yes,
man. I
like
don't think that's
that I
weird
think
and
is gross. Your own
know if I remember
self-warming
that.
is okay, right? No.
I don't know.
Okay.
I could go either way with it.
Todd,
Listeners, we want you to weigh in. How comfortable would
try
you
it.
eat a hand peanut butter to somebody?
you're trying it, aren't you?
To have,
Are you trying it?
would you feel less? Well, I was gonna say, would it be if somebody else had to warm your packet?
Yes. That would be weird.
Friend, family member, or stranger? Who would you rather have?
Oh, probably family member.
Probably
Yeah.
family member.
Family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Family
think so.
first.
I mean,
I think so. That was a
I think
pretty
that's-
obvious question.
That's the stupidest question.
Oh man, that's
Somebody
fun.
said stranger, I'd be.
We're gonna get weird in this episode though, which I'm
Yes.
excited about.
Do you
We're
want to
gonna-
go ahead and do the reader for Justin's peanut butter? Do you want the 15-second read?
Yeah, we'll
they
do
bought?
that. Yeah, that one is the beginning of podcast. What is it called?
Justin's peanut butter.
Justin's honey peanut
Oh.
butter,
Oh boy,
made with 85% peanuts.
made with 85% peanuts. Justin's
the other
peanut butter
50?
is just right. Yeah,
We have to
that's
have some
butter.
oil.
It's butter. I think.
Butter,
Oh, it's probably oil.
some
Yeah, I bet it's
kinda-
an oil.
Some-
Organic honey.
By the way,
organic
that's
cane
good.
sugar, peanut oil, palm oil, and sea salt.
Can I ask you a question?
Okay.
Because that brought up something interesting for me. I have never in my life made mayonnaise, but I realized you can, and what you do is right. That's what I said. I've gotten into cooking, and I got this book, and it's like, here's how you make mayonnaise, and so it's
egg
like
whites and-
egg. It's it's egg
Is it oil? Egg
and
whites
oil. Yeah,
Egg. Yeah.
yeah, it's egg and oil. And so I started whisking it together, and I guess that's all we have time for today. Christians closing us out. It's a boring story. I get it. So I whisked together, like, and it talks about how you have to whisk it for a long time and really hard. You had to add the oil drop by drop, literally for a while. And so I'm doing all this. I'm like, yeah,
making an emulsion.
And I'm looking. Yes, it is. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, this just looks like oil and an egg mixed together. It's like it's not like whitening. Yeah. It's like it's just looking weird. And I was like, okay, I finally got it done. I'm like, this is a decent consistency. And I tasted it, and it tastes like oil and an egg. Like I thought something magical would happen, but nothing ever happened. So making mayonnaise is hard. I don't know.
Making mayonnaise
you were so
is
excited.
hard.
You're like, I'm gonna start with my own line
Fresh
of Terry's
homemade
mayo.
mayonnaise.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna have a BLT with my own fresh homemade mayonnaise.
Yeah.
And then it just really did not play out. It did not
Tastes
play
like
out.
egg and oil.
All right, well, that was a little bit of a digression, I guess. Well, we want to hear from you. If you've ever made mayonnaise, like, what am I missing? What did I do wrong? What's the problem?
No.
Let us know. Info@Boom Real Estate Podcast. This is a real estate podcast.
We need to know.
Probably a narrow demographic of people who've made mayonnaise that are listening to this podcast.
Yeah, the first narrowing is
Correct.
listening to the
Just listen to
podcast.
Yeah.
That's
Then within that, we
very
can
small selection of
have a
people, and then a
subgenre.
sliver, and that is me. Basically, I'm the only person
That's
that
right.
has done that. Okay, so we roll on with season 2. We're talking about systems. We did
Systems.
buyer systems. We just wrapped that up.
Yep.
And now we are getting into seller systems, right? So this is going to be kind of a two-parter. The first episode of this two-parter is going to be talking about pre-listing. So before you've done the listing, it's going to be like before the appointment, after the appointment, etc. And then next ep will be after the listing is live and all that stuff. Okay.
Yes.
So that's where we're headed, and it's going to be a bunch of fun, and it's going to get a little crazy too.
Yeah. We're gonna play some game. I got a game for us today, and I'm gonna give some people. I'm just gonna give you a little heads up as to what the game is.
Yep.
It's called Admit It, You're Crazy. And
You're crazy.
You're crazy. So what I thought we'd do today is just throughout the episode, let's all just chime in with what is that one thing or multiple things that you do that is just socially inept or not inept, but
Just
awkward,
Yeah.
crazy people. And then Terry and I were talking about before, and he's like, a good indicator is if you lead with, I'm sorry, I know this is weird, but I gotta
Yeah.
do this. This
Dot,
is just
dot, dot,
something
yeah.
I do. Yeah, something like that. So we want you guys to think about it at home and let us know. Fill the feed, the chat rooms. Go ahead and send us mailers.
Chat rooms.
Chat rooms. Do you remember those days when you'd go to a
that's right.
room to chat?
That's it.
The special chat room.
That's right. And let us know what's something that you do that's
Get
crazy.
on ICQ and
And we will warn you that if
AOL
it's
Instant
illegal,
Messenger.
we will turn you in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are
This
very
is
big
not-
sticklers for
This
the
is
rules.
not an immunity portion
I like-
of I
yeah.
love it. Okay, so let's dive in. Are we going to start with anything crazy, or just like
Nah,
sprinkle
let's-
that in?
let's-
You
let's
gonna
warm it up,
surprise
Chris.
us?
Okay, we'll sprinkle that in like the sea salt of your peanut butter. Let's go to Megan and
Hi.
talk to us about just where we're headed and just what's all going on with all this stuff.
Let's talk
Megan.
about it.
Let's talk about it.
We've been talking about systems, and here we are today diving into our seller systems and the pre-listing portion, which, I mean, I gotta say, that's probably like most of your work when it comes to listings is the pre-listing stuff. So there's lots of ways to attack the opportunity to get a listing. And so today we're going to talk about the systems you're going to need to create efficiencies to be able to scale your business to the next level, make it amazing.
Yep. Yes.
And to be able to give your potential clients a glimpse into like why they need to be working with you, and they're going to be pumped to have you as their listing agent. So you're going to take those things away from this. It's going to be amazing. You're going to come across really organized. You're going to be super professional. You're going to know what you're doing, even if you don't really. You're going to look like you do. And then you'll just they're gonna have to have you.
Yeah.
You're gonna be the one because of this.
Well, this will be
right
a
now.
refreshing change of pace in my
know.
business. Then, if that's what I'm going to become.
Well,
That's
and for us to
wonderful.
actually bring some value like that is pretty
Wow,
impressive as well.
That's right.
I mean,
that's not normally how we
let's
do.
just say.
That's right. Okay, so that's where we're headed, and we're
Yep.
starting, Todd, with pre-appointment, before the appointment, Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, so you get a lead. Now, a lot of this, if you listen to the last 2 episodes, you're going to see that some of this mimics those same things because if you have a good system for buyers,
Yes.
you can reflect that onto your sellers as well. So you get a lead. What's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to track that lead and where it came from. You want to make sure that you record those things so that you can always analyze your ROI later, your return on investment. Roy, we want positive Roy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's been a while since he's been around.
I miss Roy.
Woo!
you
Let's
say,
shoot us up some real estate. Woo! Here we go.
Went to kick. He's got a, for those a
Mic
little
kicker.
behind the curtain, he's
Little
got
mic
a
kicker.
little
He's got a
mic
bicycle
kicker.
pedal. He's got a pedal
Yeah.
while he's talking in order to turn his mic
And
on.
I totally
for all
heard
the
him
fancy tech.
try to kick it,
mic kicker.
and he missed it, but he kept talking. All right, so you're going to track that lead. Where did that come from? Then you're going to send a thank you note to the referring party. We just got a referral for a incoming buyer, actually, and Holly, who is our assistant, our executive, our office manager. There's so many titles.
She's our everything.
She
Just
does
say
everything.
that.
Yeah.
She's our everything.
I screamed across the room the details of the referral, and she is recording it, and she's prepping a note for us right now so that I can do a handwritten
Crushed
note and a thank you to that person.
Nice.
And I'll probably throw in like a little something like, hey, coffee's on me. something
RESPA
like that.
violation.
Yeah.
RESPA violation.
I
RESPA
didn't-
violation. We have to turn you in.
And
I have
then-
to turn you in. Sorry, Todd. I have to turn you in.
And then I'm going to immediately make a call to that seller. You do not want to wait because what if they're talking to multiple people? What if they have multiple referrals? Be the first to call them. So I'm going to call them right away. So contact that seller and schedule the appointment. Now, this phone call, this is going to be a little different for some people because a lot of people like to get into detail on these phone calls. Not me. And I'm teaching you guys not to do that either. Keep it short and simple. Establish a relationship with them. Get the basics and then get out of there.
Get off the phone.
Nice.
That's right. Get
Before
off
you
the
blow
phone.
it.
Yeah, before you blow it.
Before the house of cards collapses.
Exactly. So this phone call, the initial phone call is simply some niceties that you're going to exchange, and then you're going to set a time to meet. And then you're going to give yourself time, and when you schedule that time,
Yes.
make sure that you give yourself a time. Like a lot of people, especially new agents, they get so excited. They're like, "I got a listing appointment." They're like, "Can we meet tomorrow morning?"
Right.
And they you're not giving yourself time to prep.
Right.
So you want to schedule that time like 4 or 5 days out, ideally, so that you can get in there, prep, and get ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So and then set some expectations there as well that you're going to be sending them some forms and a follow up, and that's what you do next. So as soon as you get off the phone, you remember you kept it short and sweet. You set up your appointment. They love you. You hang up the phone, and then you immediately go to your email. You are going to send them an email. You're going to confirm the appointment, and you're going to shoot them 2 surveys, which we are happy to share our surveys with you. And these are done through SurveyMonkey. You can also use Woofoo, which is
Woofoo.
owned by SurveyMonkey.
Yeah. I don't understand how that works, by the
Yeah,
way.
it's all like
Side note.
everybody owns.
Well, it's like Facebook owns Instagram now, right?
yeah,
and all
man,
that. I mean, they all
yeah.
So funny.
commingling.
Carl's Jr. owns
and Hardee's
Hardee's or
and-
vice
yeah.
versa. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Yep. Just big companies buy companies.
A quick poll. Are you in Carl's Jr. country or Hardy's country?
right.
Let us know.
That's an odd thing.
So you're going to, in this email, confirm the appointment, send them the surveys, and the 2 surveys that we use are getting to know you and thinking of selling, all right, which tells us more about them and then tells us about why they're selling. And then lastly, a little kind of like on the top type of thing would be throw a little video in there.
Ooh,
And
next
if you can do it
level.
in your email, that's great.
I'm a
Through like a
fan.
bombbomb.com or covideo.com. You can use that. Or you can also send them a text with a video that's like, hey, I just shot you an email, but wanted to follow up with a text so you know what I look like when I'm banging on your door.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't use that expression. That's a weird thing.
I know you do have to sometimes put your face because whether it's a showing or a buyer's appointment for the first time or a listing appointment, you do want them to be comfortable. Like, this is the guy I'm supposed to be talking to.
Right.
So that's really good.
Yes.
But think about that. Like, think about if you got a referral to a seller and then you immediately do all these things and you get it all done in the first like 15 minutes. You
Yeah.
had the conversation, you send an email, you send them a text, and then they call that referring party. They're like, dude, that person is on top
All
of it.
over
Right.
it.
And then they also
Right.
feel like if you're on top of it right there, then how are you going to be throughout
Yes.
the whole process?
And comparing. So what's going to happen is most of the
Oh,
other
yeah.
agents are not going to be doing all these things.
Yeah,
so
right.
immediately
Yep.
you look like the dominant, better
Yeah.
choice. So
Yep.
yes.
That's good
Yep,
stuff.
yep,
well
yep,
done.
yep.
Okay, so
Great
you
tips,
secured
Todd.
the appointment. Hoots to you. Now it's time to get ready, Megan. We gotta get ready.
Let's prep.
Let's prep.
Let's get it tight.
Let's get it tight.
That was my flexing. Okay, so so you got to get ready for this bad boy. Which it's funny when you said that earlier, Todd, about you hurry. You're like, can you meet me like in an hour?
Right.
But you don't want that. Like, you do need a little bit of time. First, it's great to not be the first person, and second, you have to have the time to. Don't put yourself in a pickle. You don't want to be in a pickle. Nobody wants to be in a pickle, right, Terry?
Pickle, awful. That's my nightmare.
It's the ongoing joke. Poor Terry in the pickle. That's my nightmare. Okay, so you need some materials to get all prepped and to look awesome, right? We promised you're going to look really good no matter what. So here we go. The first thing you need to do are, Todd talked about the getting to know you and the thinking of selling surveys that we have. Those are the two we have. Getting to know you, thinking of selling. So we can send you those again. You can print them out and have them in paper, or on your computer if you want to fill them out there. But we always pre-send them and then bring some form of a copy to the appointment as well in case they haven't filled them out. Then you need your seller's guide. Same thing. We have a seller's guide if you want to see it. A lot of times brokerages will have a certain seller's guide. You might have your own. Whatever you need to use, make sure you have your seller's guide that walks you through the process so that even if you don't know the process that well, it's your crutch.
Yeah.
That's your ABC book right there that you walk through. And then your information, we have like a bio sheet, a little resume that we put inside of our seller packet, but you need to have that too to make sure you look legit, you know what you're doing. And it's really hard to brag about, let's talk about it, guys. It should be hard to brag about yourself. It's not always for everybody.
Yeah.
But you don't want to go in there like just downplaying anybody else and only bragging on yourself. You want to let it speak for itself. So if you have a resume, you have something to show them and talk through that just doesn't make you look like you're bragging.
That's good.
Market research report. This is probably one of the most important things you need to have is you need to have your research all done in a beautiful, however you present it to them. You can do it in an online PDF or whatever you have on your computer system. You can have it printed out. You can, whatever you need to do, make sure it looks really good and that it's thorough. You don't need to have 500 pages, but you do need a solid booklet of information that shows this home, all the comparables around, but have your good market research ready to rock.
Yeah.
And you know what's great about everything you just mentioned?
Yes.
If you have an assistant, you just say, hey, I got a listing appointment next Tuesday at 5 for this address. Can you prep everything? Boom, it's all set to go, and you just are ready to go.
Do you know why? Because you had a system set up.
You had a system.
Oh, boy.
You have a listing system that you have trained somebody to work with you as a partner, and amazing. Look at you guys. Look at all the time you have.
Look
How
at us
great
shine.
you look.
Look at us shine.
It's happening. And then we have two other quick things that you're going to do. The first one, get there early. Just try to get there about 15 minutes early to drive, or earlier to drive through the neighborhood. If there's a not a model home, but where's the place where the pool is? Come on, guys, help me out. More caffeine.
Pool house?
Clubhouse.
Clubhouse. That's the word. Go see if there's a clubhouse, if there's any amenities. Drive through and see the neighbors and what's going on in the neighborhood.
Password is Clubhouse.
Oh, okay.
All lowercase. Clubhouse. But do go study the neighborhood. So when they say, "Oh yeah, down the road," and you're like, "Oh yeah, the brick house, right?" And so you're just gonna look super amazing. And then the last thing you do is actually conduct the listing appointment.
Yep.
Do it.
Boom. I love it. Okay, so should we get crazy?
Yeah, and
we get a little weird?
I do want to get crazy about it. Before we get crazy, I do
Yes.
want to emphasize, we're not going into the listing appointment and stuff. We're not going into all the research and what you need to do, all that. We're just telling you here are the systems. You guys fill in the voids between it with, how you want to do your nuances and all that. But
we can't tell you how to do your CMA for you. You're going to have to dig into the program and figure it out yourself in your market and your MLS.
I saw the best GIF yesterday on Facebook. It just reminded me of that, where it was like the government talking to the taxpayer, to the business owner. And it was like, hey, it's the government, you owe us taxes. And then it was like, business owner, how much do I own? And they were like, oh, you have to figure that out yourself. And the business owner was like, oh, how do I do that? Oh, here's a great system that'll tell you how. Oh, what if I get it wrong? Oh, well, you go to prison. Or it says, do you know how much we owe? Yes, we know, but you have to figure it out yourself. What if I get it wrong? You go to prison.
That's
Isn't that hilarious? Anyway, it just made me laugh about knowing. Okay.
That is good. No, that's good.
Let's play America's greatest game. Admit it, you're crazy.
We should shout it like they do on the old school game shows. It's time to play Admit It, You're Crazy. Okay, maybe that didn't go as well.
Nope.
We'll try it again later in the
Crazy.
episode.
All right, so here's I will kick us off just because
Okay.
I came up with the game.
Set the
and
tone.
so I will set the tone. I struggled with thinking of something that was crazy, and then I started thinking like maybe it's because I'm too close to it. I need to have others tell me what I'm crazy
Yeah,
about.
I think you guys really stumbled onto something when you started to tell each other spouse-wise
Yeah.
what you were crazy
Yeah.
about.
So
Sometimes
I
it's
asked
easier.
Megan,
to
and then she
identify.
started feeding me, and so I will say
I said nothing. You're not crazy.
with
You're
my
amazing.
apologies
Can I get a roll in
are.
here, Terry? Are we good?
No, she said a positive thing
Okay,
towards
all
Todd
right,
in
yeah.
order to avoid the sounders.
All right.
Yeah.
So I would say my apologies are that I get a little OCD on certain things. Like I could completely care less about certain things, but then I get very OCD about other things. And maybe that's normal for everybody. I don't know. But I will say like a dishwasher is a really good example. Like her mom and Megan pretends it's her mom, but I know it's Megan too. They like fill our dishwasher in the most like asinine way.
What does
Like,
that
it-
mean?
It
Like
just,
put the spoons together?
like they,
Like-
like the spoons, and then they'll be like the instead of like organizing the bowls and the plates, it's just a hodgepodge. It's like, oh, there's an open space. Let me throw a plate over there. Oh, there's over there. That looks like a bowl area.
Let me chime in real quick.
It's so awful.
Hold on, let
And
me
then
chime
you
in.
can only
Hold on, let me
fill
chime in.
half
Let
a
me chime in.
dishwasher.
He's still going. You've turned admit it you're crazy into admit it other people are crazy. Like that's what you've done. Like you're just now saying Megan and her mom are crazy when you're supposed to be talking about why you're crazy.
Well, maybe they are crazy. Maybe that's a good point,
Enough
Terry.
said.
You're crazy. I'm not crazy. You're crazy.
That's a great point. Admit it, you're crazy is the name of the game, and that's what I'm doing. Admit it, Megan, you're crazy. So, anyways, so
awesome.
I tend to, my crazy moment is that I will go in and I will reorganize the dirty dishes in
Yeah.
a much more logical form.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Terry,
and waste my
my
time.
finger's
And
so
I've got-
close to the button
No,
right now.
I think
I've
this
got-
game we
I'm
have to.
trying
We have
so
to
hard right now. I'm throwing myself on the bomb right now and just like trying to like.
we have to give a lot of latitude in this game.
Okay,
for-
Yeah.
all right.
On the
I also
sounder.
like, this may not be crazy, but I also like to sit, like if I was a table, I always like to sit with my back to the wall so I can see as
Eyes on
much
the
of the
door,
room as
back to the wall.
possible.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
You
but-
like to watch people. You like to.
I like to people watch, but
for
I also
sure.
I like to I figure my outs sometimes.
Really.
Like I go Jason Bourne, and I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, can I see if I've got a blind spot on my right? Can I see something off of the salt shaker or something like
Okay.
that? I don't know why.
So you do that
Interesting.
on a regular, like
Not on a
it's
regular
kinda-
basis, but sometimes it's fun in my mind.
Okay, so yeah, I think that one's the
a
good
little
one. I
crazy.
think. I think the
Yeah.
dishwasher we could have just steered clear. We'll edit all that out in post.
Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one was good though. I think that like I'm always trying to figure out how to ninja the entire room. That's pretty good.
You gotta
That's
be
a
ready
pretty
to
good
go.
one. Okay, all
you
right.
never know.
Good job, Todd.
That's
Admit
good.
it, you're
Thank you.
crazy.
Thank you.
Meg,
Thank
are you
you.
still stewing about the?
I'm thinking of all
like,
the crazy things that might come out of Todd Ferris, but the dishwasher.
Never saw it.
Never
coming.
saw it coming.
We'll circle back to that later tonight.
That's good. Let's see.
Tell you what, let me
I'm just
rock
looking-
post appointment,
And then we'll do more.
Let's do two.
Yeah,
you
because
guys
we're gonna have
Oh.
to get it all done.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna rock this word. So we've had our appointment. You did you conducted the list appointment. Now, what are your systems for post appointment? I'm
Yep.
gonna rock through these real quick because I want to hear more crazy.
I know,
talk,
really. That's all I
right?
care about now. It's just the crazy stuff.
So you get done. First thing you do is go back to your computer, or even right there in your car if you are mobile friendly. You want to create a client folder and write down details of the conversation. So now this may be in your CRM. It can be wherever you want it to be, but make sure while it's fresh, write down details. Like if you talked about price, write that down. If you talked about the timeline, write that down. Next steps, what do you need to do? Because the last thing you want to do is walk away and then be like, oh, what were we going to list for? Oh, when did they want to list? And then all of a sudden it's not fresh in your mind, right? And some people would say, bring your listing appointment or bring all your listing documents and have them sign it all there right then. I will tell you that typically for us, it's a two-step process where we meet with them and then we want to go back and do additional research, which gives us more buffer time to make sure that we're not coming in guns a-blazing and
Yep.
wrong on our number.
Right.
So we do that. And then the second step is not to go there and tell them like, this is what I think it's worth. We email them that information, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But the second step is like right before you list, you just check the home one more time and make sure it's good. So we'll get into that in more detail, and we've done that in past episodes. But so you create that folder, then you're going to shoot them a follow-up email. In that email, you're detailing the next steps so that everybody's on the same page. Plus, you now have a record of what the next steps are so that you can go back to if you're like, oh, shoot, what was I doing on this one? You go back, oh, that's what the email said. All right. Another handwritten thank you. Send them a handwritten thank you. It's so great to see you. If you want to go next level, send them a little gift that came up from the conversations. Like a lot of times we'll be, if they offer me a drink and we talk about some kind of liquor or booze or some beer or something like that, I'll go find them some beer and then I'll have the beer delivered. And then all of a sudden now, especially if they're like competing and you got other agents competing and we're the ones that send a little gift, they're like, man, those guys are just on top of it. And that's how they'll be with my listing.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. Social media. This is a fun one because Terry and I sometimes differentiate on this. I like to go at that point. I feel like I've established a relationship. I will then go friend them on social media.
Yep.
Terry doesn't like to because
I'm riddled with guilt.
He's riddled with guilt because he will go on vacation or something like that, and then he'll post about it.
Yeah.
And he thinks that his sellers are all like, "Look at this Joe Schmo just taking vacations, doesn't care about selling my house."
Yeah, sits on the market. Yeah, I'm sure it's all my own internal battle of what people are thinking about the work I'm doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's so. I always wait for a seller until after we've closed, and then I friend them.
I like to friend them right away, and I'll tell you why is because then when I start doing my social media marketing, I will tag them or I will share it with them in case they don't want like the public to know and they can make the choice. But I'll share it with them and say, hey, check out like this ad that we're running for your property, and they're like, oh, and they may share it, and then now I'm in their group of friends and stuff.
Yeah, that's good.
Anyway,
that's good.
And then, like I said, you're going to enter them into your CRM. If you have action plans set up, like follow-ups to listing appointments, start the action plan, and then lastly, schedule all your follow-ups. Make sure that you have reminders based on your timeline. So if that seller is going to list in 3 months, you need to be checking in on them on X date. You need to have that set up.
Yeah.
So those are all the systems on the post-listing follow-up. And now, admit it, you are crazy.
It's time to play Admit It, You're Crazy. It's going so badly. It's going so badly. All right. Let's give Megan a chance to rebuttal.
Ooh.
You got a rebut?
No, Todd, I love you so much. I don't think you're crazy. So I would never pull anything out that might make you sound crazy. No, I actually had a kind of a hard time. I think I might be a little quirky in some ways that people could call.
That's how the quirkiest things always start.
That,
I think I might have a little bit of a...
I've got one for you.
You do?
Yeah.
Should I say mine first
wait,
and see if I hit it?
Go ahead.
No, it has to be the... It should be somebody else.
Yeah, I know.
So I have a couple.
Let's see.
I got 5. Hold on.
Let's see it. Like,
So he
Todd,
takes both turns
he
to
does.
tell me
How crazy you are.
I am.
Megan, I've got a list here real quick. Hold on. All right.
I've got a document with all
So
the
what we'll do
crazy
is
things.
Todd will write down what he thinks is crazy about Megan, and then Megan will say it, and then if they match, they get a point.
It's a newlywed game.
It's a newlywed game, but
We
like
got this.
really messed up version. All right.
You have to be able to handle it. I eat things at odd times. I don't believe there should be a time or a food. Like I shouldn't have to eat certain breakfast foods for breakfast or lunch food. So I will eat a ham sandwich for breakfast or brownie mix at 7 a.m. if I decide to make.
Wait. Brownie mix. Like just mix.
So sometimes I'll get the
Like the
box.
batter?
Yeah, I'll buy boxes of batter, and just in a small cup, I'll just do a little bit of it and a little oil because you can't put the egg in because that'd be dangerous.
That'd be mayonnaise.
I mean, that'd be then you'd have mayonnaise in your brownies. And then I just eat a couple. That was good. Then I just have brownies or a ham sandwich, or I'll eat a piece of cheese.
That food is really important to you.
It is.
And you know what you like, and you know how you like it, and you're not afraid. So
Yes.
you're like,
You just
like
go
if you
for it.
want a scoop of sour cream straight, psh,
I will
do
eat that.
you, girl.
I might put some
And you do
seasoned salt
you.
in it and some. Yeah, I do.
Wow.
There are weird things that
and
I'll
you
eat.
keep all your
and
food separated on the plate. You hate it when your foods touch.
I don't like it. Yes, correct. I do like
yeah.
food, and I like revolve my day around what I get to eat when, because it's like a celebration to me all the time. Like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
super thankful, and I love it, and it's
Yeah,
good, and it
that's
makes me
good.
happy. So I hope I never lose that. I am
good.
a little friendly. Like I would say 9 times out of 10, I'm like, hey, let's be best friends, and it goes really well. And there is that one person out of 10 that I'll be like, hey, and they'll be like, what?
Yeah, it's a little
like,
much.
yeah, and they're like, I don't know you, you're creepy.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So then I, go back into
Reel it in a little
myself. I can't. The only other one was like, I literally cannot handle the counters to have anything on them because it makes me feel very upset.
What does that mean?
You never see
Counters
dirty
can't have anything
dishes.
on them.
They're either in the sink or in the dishwasher. Like I need the bathroom sink to be cleaned off. I need the kitchen counter to be clean. No clutter
on the kitchen counter.
And really,
Okay, yeah, that's I think that's
in
a
the
little...
kitchen's my space, and the like main floor bathroom.
I'm gonna ask Todd not to say a word. I'm gonna ask Todd not to say a word. Todd wants to say a lot of words. We're just gonna leave it at this look that he's giving
Todd's
Megan.
been totally spoiled in his life. I think that he's just never. But yes, I can't say like my bedroom or bathroom's like that. That's a oasis of black hole of crazy.
How do you feel
and
about
my desk.
How do you feel about
Ugh.
rugs that are just askew a little bit?
I honestly, that main living space, I need it to be great almost all the time. My office, my desk, my bedroom, that's my own little space to just let it go. But what about you?
Yeah, I like it to be neat.
Yeah.
I like everything clean
Feels
off.
better.
If I'm like working out and I'm doing like a deadlift or something like that,
Yeah.
and there's a crack on the floor or like a line on the floor, I have to have the bars match up to the line. Like they have
like
to
parallel?
be parallel with it. Like if
Interesting.
it's skewed, then it messes me up.
Interesting.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, Christian.
Hold on, let me switch my camera in.
Well, while you do that, Jordy, do you have a thing? Have you thought of anything weird and quirky about you that you want to chime in on?
Yes.
You have to get in touch.
Just scoot up a little closer.
Okay.
Sit on.
Jordy.
Hello, listeners.
Jordy's in.
I have a mic now.
Look,
What do
we
you
can
do?
see you
What's
too.
weird? What's a weird thing for you?
I could go a couple levels here. Do you want like low, medium, or high?
Let's do
Go
one of
high.
each. One of
yeah.
each.
All right.
Escalate it.
Well, low would be something like I like being up early in the morning.
No, that's not.
You
Okay,
are,
let's
but
skip
you're a
it.
25-year-old,
half
like
of
young
America
guy.
would think
No,
I'm a
he's-
lunatic.
You're early.
Early
Yeah.
in the morning.
Yeah. And then another thing is that the low level is that I usually eat my food on my plate like one at a time.
Okay, so
Like,
all the peas, then all the mashed potatoes,
all the
like
mashed
all
potatoes,
that.
all the
Yeah,
steak.
yeah, yeah.
all
Do you
the-
save the
I like
best
that.
for last?
Nope. Just
Interesting.
start going. Just
Okay.
pick one and
Okay.
Okay.
Always clockwise.
clockwise.
All right.
No, and then my last one is like how I'll stay like being in a good mood or a good perspective. Is that if I ever have a bad day, I just immediately think of my family members dying in a tragic accident today.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then it brings
I've
you
heard this.
brings you back to a
I've
good
heard this
place.
before.
That was the high level.
I've heard this before. Yeah. Yeah.
But it takes you back to like
If you actually go there, man, nothing seems like a big deal. I'm telling you. And then you're good. So
There
that's
you
my
go.
level of
That's
crazy.
good.
That was good.
Okay.
chiming
See
in,
you at
Jordy.
the cycle.
All right. See you later. Thanks for stopping by, Jordy.
Oh, so good.
Jordy.
That's good.
Christian, what do you have, buddy?
Okay. Mine is, now this is kind of weird, and I've always done this, but the climate control in the car,
Yep.
I like to be on an even number.
Yeah, I've heard
Does
about
anybody-
people that are that way. I'm not that way.
There's
but
no
I've heard
reason
of people
for it.
that where
But
it's
70,
their
70,
thermostat
No,
has
I-
to be on
yeah,
there.
I don't like 67, 69, 71 to make me really
Interesting.
Okay.
That is a crazy one.
That's good.
It's a little
interesting.
crazy.
It's good though.
Crazy.
It's good.
Yeah. And also, I never look at stoplights.
I'm sorry, what?
Like, okay, so when you're getting close to a stoplight, you see if it's green or red. But as you get right under it, I don't look up. Like, I don't want to know.
Oh.
Just
I
go.
feel like if I look at it,
If I'm
it'll
breaking the
change.
law, I don't want to know.
No, I feel like it'll change if I look at it.
Oh, so like you've got a green light, you're
Yeah.
going, and you're like, if I look at
If
it,
I
it'll
look
go
at it, it's
yellow.
gonna change.
So I'm
So
not
I'm
going to look
not
at
gonna
it.
look at it,
I
just
like
go,
that one. That's
That's
a good one.
funny.
That
That's
is a good one.
That
I
is
like. That's one of
good.
my favorites of the
That's
day
really
so far.
good.
How funny. Okay. Good stuff. All right. Let's wrap up, and then I'll
Okay.
finish
Oh,
mine.
I can't
to
wait.
button
Okay.
it. And then Holly, if you have one to chime in too, don't be afraid.
Oh,
Okay,
she
she slacked it to
Sweet.
us, so one of you guys
Okay.
can share that too at the end.
Awesome.
Okay, Megan.
Okay,
you have some tips. for
Last
this
tips.
process.
You guys just need to know these fun things. If you have enough time, send a pre-listing packet. Put your resume in it, put the seller's guide, a handwritten note, something fun if you had anything in the conversation. But try to send a pre-listing something if you can. Which is great. Some people send the seller's packet and like a little bag of popcorn and mail it in, and it'll be amazing. So
Nice.
then you can eat popcorn and read a really boring seller's guide.
I'm a fan.
And then the next thing you can do is Todd talked earlier about having somebody that helps you. You can have a listing consultant that helps organize all the steps between the appointment and actually going on the market. So the staging, the photos, all the marketing materials, getting the signs there and the lockbox. That is a next level step that when you start getting busy, you really do need to get into
That's good.
place. So
I love it.
and the last thing is just personalize everything. Everything that you can personalize, do it, rock it, make it yours. Yes.
Yes.
Woo!
I like it.
That's
Boom.
good. That's good. I like that too. That's good. So now you have the whole system, right?
You got
The whole
everything
system.
set up.
It's fantastic.
And guess what?
Ready
Next
to rock.
episode, we're going to be talking about, you get a contract now. What happens?
Yeah.
Systems forward.
Wait,
Boom.
what?
Yes.
Yes.
Systems
You
afterward?
did it.
I know
Yes.
there's systems
There's
everywhere.
systems everywhere.
We're so systematized. It's so good.
Terry.
Well, Holly kind of chimed in on a similar thing with Christian with the thermostat being on even numbers. She says the same way. The volume on her TV and radio has to be on the 5s, which I would say is
Fives,
pretty
yeah.
extreme
That's,
increments.
those
Yeah.
are big jumps.
Oh.
Especially for
So
Oh.
5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, for climate control would be
60,
even worse.
65, 70.
She said weirdos use 17, which is funny because when you said even, I love the odds. I like prefer odd
You're
numbers.
on the
so I
odds.
would be a 17. That's awesome. You guys.
So I just made a quick little list of things that I thought of for myself. I have to have a beverage at all times. Literally, I get nervous if I don't have
Best
it. I like to
hydrated
drink all
realtor
the
in
time.
business.
Yeah, so I always drink all the time. Similarly, I have to have lip balm at all times.
Yes, you
like
do.
always,
Yeah.
always. And then I've been told that I smash it onto my face in a weird way. I just apply it strangely, and I don't know.
I
mean,
do
I guess
remember
I kind of smash
you
it,
in
and then I have a
college.
certain way
What
of
was
doing it. I don't
the,
know. Devin does a pretty good impression of it, if I recall.
What was the lip balm that you used to use back
Carmex.
in college?
Carmex.
Carmex.
Yeah.
I
know we heard like
remember
there's glass
him.
particles in it or something.
Yeah,
weird.
it's bad for you. So I switched to Vaseline lip therapy,
Mm-hmm.
which is good. I routinely go to 5 movies in a day. That's kind of weird, right? Like
You do like to go to movies.
like back to back to back to back to back. I'll do that.
Like a movie day.
yeah,
Yeah.
movie day. So that's fun.
Just by himself. Like it's like
Yeah, by myself a lot of
he just
times,
goes to the theater and
Yep.
10, 12 hours later.
Yep, I
Yeah.
come out.
a new man.
Yep. I am extremely picky about font selection, so that's something.
That is,
And then and then I set the remotes in a very exact way while I watch TV. Always.
Oh.
Very exact.
Okay, do we have a limit on these?
So
Like the number?
interesting.
still going.
I'm
still
done.
going.
I'm done. That's it. That's
But
all I
don't
got.
you feel better about yourself?
Nope, I feel worse.
No, don't, because I feel like everybody really. Sometimes you do something and
Yeah.
you're like, does anybody else do this? And now you know, maybe not the same thing, but we all have some crazy in us for
A little
sure.
bit of crazy,
right?
Everybody's got a little crazy.
It makes
Yeah.
us. It goes back to the last thing of personalizing. You got to do things your way and live your life and be who you are. So good things, good times. We
Good
want to hear
crazy.
from you what your crazy is. So you
Yeah.
can hit us up on social media. That's cool. You can email info@boomrealestatepodcast.com. And also, Real Estate on Purpose is still out there, and it's been really huge for the people that have gone through it. So check that out at reonpurpose.com. And that's all, Christian.
I'll see
Welcome to having your own camera.
Yay.
Oh, welcome, buddy. Welcome.
We're excited.
Welcome.